So drinks list of the year was amazing for us. It was a big. The menu was such a kind of culmination of all the team's work that it was such a nice recognition to have. And with the team behind Imbibe and with behind Maxium, it was so nice to have it from industry peers, from friends, for people that were kind of recognizing all of our hard work. So it was a real honor for us. It's really important to have a great drinks list. It's your real connection with your guests coming in. It's something we use and we put a lot of effort into helping kind of, I don't know, make people feel at ease in the bar. There's great bars that have done a job of not needing a drinks list. So Milk and Honey and Attaboy's successor, they've really made an art of it being about that interaction. But when you get to different styles of venue, particularly big bars, it's really crucial to have something that helps people connect with what you're trying to put forward. So we term what we do as accessible innovation. It's a really crucial point, and especially when there's some weird stuff on the menus, both at Dandelion and at Super Lion, and it's always something that we're trying to help people understand. Any of the things that we do isn't for gimmick, and it's not there to be an odd ingredient on the menu. So if you've got something like mummified citrus or rusted scotch, you might not know what that is. So we want to be able to have little keys on the menu that help guide you through it. And obviously the team are amazing and they're there to be on hand for it, but the menu's the first port of call, and we found that people are really interested in using it as an article. They want to buy into the proposition of the venue, and if you can make that article work in that way, you can help guide people through and you can open up the information to them. That's the crucial point of it, and I think it's a really important role is to make it have that communication. Yeah, so the design aspect's always been quite important to me from a kind of creative background, and from it's a big part of my sister is kind of the creative point in the whole team. She's always been a really important point to be able to create great design in there, and that's the typography, it's the way it's laid out, it's little touches, it's tactile things as well. So we try and, in amongst as we can in terms of budget and restraints and all those things, we try and have it as detailed as possible. And it's a really, yeah, I think it's a really misunderstood part of it is how the design can really shape that interaction. So I've certainly seen bars, really putting a lot of effort into their menus, and it's obviously it's a fine balance. You want it to be something that's, something that's indicative of the venue, but also something that people can actually engage with. I don't think you ever want it to go to too extreme an example, but I think at the moment it's been amazing to see the efforts people are putting together for their cocktail lists, and you're finding much more inventive ways to engage people, ways to help people again learn through what the menu and the drinks are displaying. And it's something that I think a lot of bars are rightfully very proud of at the moment, is what they're creating as their article. So when we're putting together the drinks list, there's lots of different points that we're trying to put together, and really it's all about balance. So it's not that we're trying to put just weird ingredients on or having to things that are simply just beautiful. It needs to be functional. It needs to speak the right language so people can engage with it in the right way, but it still needs to feel aspirational. And then a big important part of that is trying to balance out all of these elements. And it's something that we've had the team involved with from the beginning. So even the design, we've tried to ask them what has and hasn't worked, what they're getting questions on. Obviously, the team have been involved in every aspect of the drinks and the creation of it. And so we're constantly trying to kind of reevaluate those things. So I think the most important part is its relevance. It needs to be something that is not just for us, but it's for our guests, but it's something that we can be proud of. So it's trying to balance out all of those elements together. I think staying at the top of your game is about being honest. It's got to be something that reflects your own space, your own qualities, your own concept. It's got to be something that feels part of your own story. And it's a crucial thing that we've always tried to put together. Whenever we're designing new drinks, new menus, I think the most special thing about the Dandelion menu is the fact that every member of the team has been involved. And it's something that takes us a long time. It's a minimum of 7-month process, and it's something that we've always used each of the individuals' backgrounds to give it strength and to give it diversity. So because we have an overarching concept, each member of the team is starting to interpret that in their own way, and it means that you have this amazing breadth. And because we're doing that, it allows us to always find new things. And we always try and make it about something that is a continuation. It's an evolution of what we're trying to do. We never want to rest on our laurels. We always think there's lots more that we can learn. So we use that as a tool of growing. So we keep the team involved. We encourage them to play to their own strengths, their own backgrounds, the things that they're interested in, and we'll throw out a wide net of research, and that's allowed us to continue to keep it evolving and keep it fresh. So when we're looking to create a new menu, we get inspired by really everything around us. It's from our peers, it's from our travels, it's from looking else around of the landscape, and we always try and find new stories around things. So we always try and push ourselves and push our guests and push the concept as well. And so because everybody in the team is involved, everybody has their own background, they have their own interests. And so when we set a concept, each of them are finding new stories behind it. They're finding new flavors, new ingredients, but also new things to link to. So if we're looking to to nature, to kind of civilization, we have all of history, all of the future to look to. So there's always lots that we can draw on. And because everybody is taking their own perspective, there's always amazing stories. And in fact, we always have too many to be able to explore that we can never manage to make it onto the actual menu. We always talk about maybe doing a B-sides session of things that were incredible stories, but maybe didn't fit the right balance of everything that we wanted to pull together as the finished article. So I think the future of drinks lists will continue to evolve. So ideas evolve, language evolves, education evolves, and I think going back to that core idea about what the menu is about is having something that's a reflection of what your space is and what you're trying to communicate. So I think what we'll see is bars trying to find new ways of communicating that. So we're seeing a bit with kind of the integration of technology, and it's just, I suppose, how that catches up with human habits, how that catches up with how people actually do engage in bars. That will continue to change. So I think we'll start to see new ways of engaging, and it might be through a technological route. It might be actually more of a simplification. I think we might see people going back to something that feels a bit more human, a bit more connected. But I think that will change as the ebb and flow of the kind of evolution of fashion and dining continues to change.